Does everybody have a Bible? There's some on
Do
the
you
back
have
table.
a Bible?
Grab a Bible.
Do you
You're
have
gonna
a
need
buddy?
it.
Do you have a Bible buddy?
Olivia put a spotlight on me, so
Whoa.
it's like I'm in Miss Congeniality.
Olivia needs to turn my mic up just a little bit.
What?
Maybe. Whoa.
What was that?
What?
Huh?
What?
Is this not loud enough?
No.
Does it need to be louder?
No.
Can you guys hear me?
What's 2 + 2?
7.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh my gosh. I failed math in high school, so I was surprised I got that.
Did you ever pass it?
You know what? I don't know.
You heard it here first. Olivia didn't graduate high school.
It was freshman year math.
She didn't graduate.
I definitely walked the stage senior year, so I don't know what
high school,
happened.
guys. Don't aspire to be Olivia. Finish high school.
I did finish high school. It's okay. We've all
You're
been
in
there.
middle school, bro. You're in middle school.
Exactly.
Wow. Overachiever.
Okay, we're going to play a game. But
game?
you guys don't seem ready for a game, so you're going to have to prove it.
And I think we need Noah and Connor up here to demonstrate this game.
Noah and Connor, join us on the stage. Okay. For this game, you're going to need a partner. So find a partner. No.
Not yet. Don't find a partner now. We need you guys to sit and listen
really
to the
necessary?
rules real quick. And so, if you're listening, then you're not talking.
Oh, called out.
Oh, so let's listen up.
100%.
Olivia is going to give you the rules to this. What is the game?
We are playing something a little like rock, paper, scissors, but better. It's a little game we like to call
Scissors, paper, rock?
almost Gorilla Man Gun. Okay.
Gorilla Man Gun.
So you know the rules of rock, paper, scissors, but for Gorilla Man Gun, the gun beats the
Gorilla.
The man beats the
Gun.
and the gorilla beats
The man.
Oh my gosh, you are ready to play.
Did you know there's a song for this game?
There's a song?
There's a song.
Oh my gosh, let's learn the song. We have to learn the song.
Do you guys want to hear the song? We're going to sing the song.
There's a song.
It goes like this.
Well, that's false.
The gorilla beats the man. The man beats the gun. The gun beats the gorilla. And if you tie, you die.
Okay.
And then we go 3, 2, 1. And then you turn around. Because you're facing back to back, yeah.
You guys are supposed to be our examples.
And then you go 3, 2, 1.
And you turn
and
around.
You turn around. And you've got your poses.
Oh, you're both out.
And there it is. By the way, we never demonstrated what the things were. So
we've got gorilla.
Can you show us man? Man. This is the man.
Where's our gorilla?
Gorilla.
And
these are great gorillas.
Where's our gun?
Where's your guns? Pew, pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
And if you tie, you're both out.
So
we're going to do this elimination style.
Yeah. So find your partner and get back to back, and we'll sing a song.
Stand up and get a partner. Stand up and find a partner.
Let's go. Everybody find a partner.
Stand up.
You guys get a partner.
Find a partner.
Get a partner. Hey, if anybody needs a partner, Mike Stansberry does not have a partner, and he's sad about it.
All right. When you have your partner face back to back.
Hey, Eric. He needs a partner.
We need a partner over here. We need a partner. Is there anybody without a partner?
Oh. I thought they were playing. Okay. We're all playing the game. Even Andrew and I are going to play.
Connor's going to come over here and be your partner.
Andrew. Back to back.
Noah's going to come over here and be your partner. Noah, get over here.
He needs a partner.
You're going to be the friend's friend. All right. Are you guys ready?
Are you ready? We need
Are
silence
you all
for our
back
song.
to back?
We're gonna all sing the song together. So I wanna hear your voices. Are you ready?
Gorilla beats the man. Man beats the gun. The gun beats the gorilla. And if you tie, you die. 3, 2, 1.
Jump!
If you are out, take a seat. If you won, find a new partner.
Take a seat. Take a load off your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want a new one.
All right. If you won, find a new partner.
Yes.
Stand back to back.
So now
Does
that you
anyone
have,
here need a partner? No.
you need a partner?
All right.
Michaela, do you need a partner? Hannah needs. Okay,
You
Hannah,
lost.
come up here. I'll play with you.
Wait, does he need a partner right here?
Wait, do you
Do you
need
need
a
a
partner?
partner?
Oh, Hannah, he needs a partner.
If you need a partner, go over there with Hannah.
Go on. Okay,
She's coming to you.
We're gonna sing our song while we're waiting.
All right.
Okay.
Are you guys
3,
ready?
2, 1.
Gorilla beats the man. The man beats the gun.
The gun beats the gorilla, and if you tie, you die. 3, 2, 1, go! Do we have anybody that's still in?
All
Who's
right.
still in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find you a new partner and come on stage.
Yeah, if you're still
Once
in,
you have a new
come
partner,
up on
come on up.
stage. Find a partner. Come on up, Turner Wilkes.
All right.
That's a lot of enthusiasm. Okay, does,
Get you a partner and stand back to back somewhere along the back part of this
does everybody
stage.
have a partner? Philip, Turner needs a partner. Okay.
All right. Are you guys ready?
I'm gonna stand here.
Are you guys
okay.
ready?
Okay.
Gorilla beats the man. The man beats the gun. The gun beats the gorilla. And if you tie, you die.
3, 2, 1, jump.
All right.
Okay.
Who do we have left?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
1, 2,
We got an
3,
uneven
4,
number.
5.
You get to sit out this round.
Pick a number. Oh, she's sitting out? All right,
Yeah.
you guys find partners. Find new partners.
Okay. Well, we need some help from the crowd.
We
Let me
need
hear you
Eric to
sing.
come up and play with Nora. Yeah. Eric's got to come up here.
Oh, you're gonna go against Eric. Watch out.
Eric is the ultimate Gorilla Man gun player.
Yeah. He's never lost
Don't
a game.
expect to win.
He's never lost a game.
You guys ready?
Are you ready? You guys know the song.
Gorilla beats the man. Man beats the gun. The gun beats the gorilla, and if you tie, you die.
3, 2, 1.
Did I win?
Man beats the gun.
Man beats the gun, so you die.
Dang it.
You won?
We're still uneven.
Pick a number 1 through 3. Pick a number 1 through 3. You get a bye.
Okay.
Jackson Antonio has a bye. He is safe
until the
this
final.
round, but you guys have to play
Okay,
for the
Nora and
championship
Gavin.
round.
You ready
All right,
for
everybody,
our
let's
song?
sing.
Join on in.
Gorilla beats the man. Man beats the gun. The gun beats the gorilla, and if you tie, you die.
3, 2, 1, go! Oh, man beats the gun.
Man beats the gun.
Thanks for playing, Nora. Are you ready? How do you feel at making it into the finals? Pretty good.
Who's gonna win?
Who's gonna win? Who's
You
gonna
guys
win?
think Jackson's gonna win?
Is Jackson gonna win?
You guys are bad at this cheering thing.
Yeah.
We're going to sing. Gorilla beats the man. Man beats the gun.
The gun beats the gorilla. If you tie, you die. 3, 2, 1, jump. Oh, gorilla beats the man.
We have a winner from Jackson Antonio.
Jackson Antonio, for your hard-fought one battle, you
get a
get that
prize.
T-shirt. Congratulations.
That's all you get. T-shirt.
Okay.
Without further ado, here's Derek.
All right. Well, hey, how are we doing tonight, you guys? Doing good? Man, it is tons of energy tonight. Wow, so much energy. Okay, thanks, Will. Yeah, man, just so you guys know, Wednesday nights are like my favorite night of the week. I mean, I absolutely love these nights. There's so much fun, there's so much energy, there's so much great food. But can we just give a shout out to Maria for cooking every single week? Thank you, Maria. You know, she's all the way back in the kitchen. I don't know if she can hear us or not. Let's go, Maria! Yes. Yeah, I guarantee she heard that. Guys, I was super excited because this morning I woke up and I found my old basketball travel jacket from back when I played basketball at Ozark Christian College. Now, I know that sounds super impressive that I played basketball in college, but first of all, it was a D2 Christian college, all right? So that, and I don't think it's quite fair to say that I played basketball. It was more like I watched basketball, right? I did a lot of this. Right? But I didn't really mind, I didn't really mind sitting the bench because there was no pressure, right? There was zero pressure if I was just the person sitting on the bench the entire time. I never had to get in the game. I never had to make any mistakes. I never had to feel bad afterwards if we lost because it was never my fault, right? Like, I actually didn't mind just sitting on the bench. It was a safe place to be. And I think that when it comes to sharing our faith, I think that some of us prefer to sit on the bench. I think that some of us prefer not to take the risk of getting into the game because we're scared that we might mess up or fail in some way, and so we just end up playing it safe. But I think we know that as Christians, we're supposed to share our faith, right? Like, we know we're supposed to talk about Jesus, and why wouldn't we? I mean, Jesus has changed our lives, right? We used to live one way, and now we don't. Or we used to struggle with this sin, and Jesus has forgiven it for us. Like, why wouldn't we share that with someone? But I think maybe the problem for us is that we don't know a good way to do it. And so we end up asking what I like to call cop-out questions when it comes to sharing our faith. We ask questions that we think make it just a little bit easier, but maybe they're not quite as effective as some other methods might be. And I think the question that we tend to ask a lot when it comes to sharing our faith is, hey, do you go to church? Or do you believe in God? And I guarantee you, in Memphis, Tennessee, you go up to any single person, you ask them, do you believe in God? And what are they going to say? Yeah, they believe in God. But the problem is maybe they don't actually live like it, right? And so if we ask these questions, do you go to church? I just wonder if there's a more effective way to talk about Jesus with people that need to know about him. All right, I want to open up our Bibles to a couple of different passages tonight, and they're both in Mark chapter 5, and then also in Mark chapter 7. And so if you grabbed a Bible on your way in, that should be page 602. I think it's page 602. But we're going to look at a story of someone who went from sitting on the bench to someone who went to being completely active and wouldn't stop talking about what Jesus had done in their life. Mark chapter 5. We're going to look at verses 1 through 17. So, when you're there, raise your hand. When you're there, raise your hand. Awesome. I think we're there. Mark chapter 5, verses 1 through 17. So Jesus has been going around. He's been doing miracles. He's been doing ministry. He's been healing people. He's been making the blind see. He's been making the lame walk. He's been feeding people. Jesus has just been doing this awesome ministry all around the Sea of Galilee. And then he gets into the boat with his disciples, and they're in the boat, and this crazy storm comes, and Jesus calms the storm. And then they get to the other side of the Sea of Galilee. Now, what you need to know is that there was this Jordan River, and in fact, there still is. And Jesus did most of his ministry on this side of the Jordan River, okay? But Jesus gets in a boat, he crosses over the Sea of Galilee to the other side of the Jordan River, the other side of the Sea of Galilee, and the people on this side of the sea lived a little bit differently. So, do you guys know that Jewish people weren't allowed to eat pigs? Do you guys know that? It's sad, right? No bacon. Yeah, terrible. I was enjoying a good piece of bacon the other day. In fact, I say good piece. Can you ever just eat one piece? No. No, I was enjoying bacon the other day at my grandma's, but these people on this side of the Sea of Galilee, they ate bacon, right? These people, they didn't observe the Sabbath, which means that basically they were okay with working on Saturdays. But Jesus gets over to this side of the sea, and it says this, chapter 5, verses 1, it says that they came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gerasenes, and when Jesus had stepped out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. It was a man who was possessed by demons. He lived among the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. For he had often been bound with shackles and with chains, but he wrenched the chains apart, and he broke the shackles in pieces. No one had the strength to subdue him. And so night and day, among the tombs and on the mountains, he was always crying out and cutting himself with stones. And when he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and he fell down before him. And crying out with a loud voice, he said, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" He says, "I ask you by God, do not torment me." For he was saying to him, "Come out of the man, you unclean spirit." And Jesus asked him, "What's your name?" And he replied, "My name is Legion, for we are many." Now let's pause real quick. Here's something you need to know about Roman soldiers, all right? So Roman soldiers had groups of soldiers called legions, and there was about 6,000 soldiers in just one legion. So this man who's possessed by a demon, he comes up to Jesus. Jesus says, "What's your name?" And he says, "My name is Legion." And so as near as we can tell, there were thousands of demons that were tormenting this man, and they had tried to bind him up. They had tried to shackle him, and he was so strong that he just broke the shackles, and he lived alone in the tombs, and he cried out day and night, and he cut himself with stones. I mean, this is a place of complete and utter darkness. He was super powerful. He was super strong. And yet when Jesus came, as soon as Jesus was there, the darkness came and it fell before Jesus' feet because the darkness could not stand in front of the light. Let's keep reading. He said, "My name is Legion, for we are many." And he begged him earnestly not to send him out of the country. Now a great herd of pigs was feeding there on the hillside. And they begged him, saying, "Send us to the pigs, let us enter them." And so he gave them permission, and the unclean spirits came out, entered the pigs in the herd, numbering about 2,000, rushing down the steep bank into the sea, and they drowned into the sea. This is kind of a weird story, right? Can we just just acknowledge the fact that this is kind of odd? We don't see things like this a whole lot, but Jesus comes, this demon-possessed guy comes, falls before his feet, Jesus casts the demons into a herd of pigs, and all 2,000 pigs run down this steep embankment and drown in the sea. This is just pretty weird, okay? And the people that saw it thought so too. So, verse 14, the herdsmen fled, and they told it in the city and in the country, and people came to see what it was that had happened. And they came to Jesus, and I think this is so cool. They saw the demon-possessed man, the one who had had the legion, and he was sitting there, he was clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. And those who had seen it described to them what had happened to the demon-possessed man and then to the pigs, and they began to beg Jesus to depart from their region. Now, this is weird to me for a few reasons, because these people come and they're amazed at what Jesus has done, but I think probably as afraid of the demon-possessed man as they were even more afraid of Jesus. This was someone who was even more powerful than this man who had broken chains and broken shackles and used to scream all night, who used to live alone. He was even more powerful than them. And then they just beg Jesus to leave. It just feels weird to me. Jesus comes in and he gets rid of the darkness for this man and he brings in the light. He completely changes this person's life. And the people want nothing to do with him. Some of you guys know what it's like to live in darkness. Some of you know what it's like to live with troubles and with hurts and with pains. Maybe your parents are going through a divorce. Or maybe you find yourself with an addiction that you just can't seem to overcome. Or maybe you're battling depression and anxiety or self-harm. You know what it is like to live in darkness. But if there's anything that we learn from this story, it's that Jesus can go into dark places and he can get rid of it. Jesus comes bringing light and bringing healing. And if you've experienced that healing, why would you not share that with somebody else? Why would you not tell someone about it? Listen, there's a student that you guys might know. He's a senior here. His name is Thomas Searson. I've actually asked him to come tonight because Thomas, for the last year and a half, has been living in a place of darkness, but he has experienced healing and hope in Jesus. And I just wanted Thomas to share a little bit of his story. So Thomas, thank you so much for coming tonight, man.
You're welcome. To be fair, did not know I was going to be up here by myself. But we're going to get through this. No, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. Eric texted me a couple days ago. He wanted me to talk about my battles with anxiety. And a lot of people probably in here, I know a lot of my friends probably don't know I've dealt with it. I know I've talked to certain people. I know I've talked to Roman about it. I've talked to certain people. But I think, as I've gone along this journey with faith, I've had like different milestones. And just recently, I think July, I decided to give my life to Christ and get baptized. And so after that was a huge milestone. So I rededicated my life to Christ and was reading the Bible, praying every morning. And it seems like easy. You're probably thinking, life probably got much easier. It didn't. It's very challenging to want to have the drive to read the Bible and continue to want to learn it. One of the things I learned, I went to a conference recently called Awakening in Dallas. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to me was one of the speakers said he doesn't enjoy reading the Bible. Like, he wakes up in the morning, he reads the Bible, but sometimes he doesn't want to read the Bible. And one of the things as I was going along over this past few months, I was reading the Bible, but I wasn't really gathering anything from it. So I want to go to this conference, and I gained so much knowledge and so much drive to want to build communities and really grow in my faith and read into the Bible and see, what's it really saying? What am I really learning from this? And one of the big takeaways from it was how to deal with anxiety. Anxiety is something I've dealt with probably since COVID started. And it never really hit me until COVID started. And that could have been, I've dealt with conflicts, and I'm sure a lot of you have dealt with conflicts, but I would stuff it in the back pocket and never really think about it. And I'm sure, like everyone else, when COVID hit, you get into quarantine, you're by yourself, and you start thinking about stuff. And so I get really into my head, and anxiety just became a huge problem. And I don't know if a lot of you in here has experienced anxiety, but it sucks. It's not fun, and it's something I don't wish upon anybody. But one of the challenges I always had was having anxiety attacks and learning how to deal with it when I had an anxiety attack. These are things that would last for 10 to 15 minutes, and you just could not breathe. You can't find anything to hold on to mentally or physically. And you're trying to search for something to grab onto. And so I dealt with this for over 2 years. And it's something I'm still dealing with to this day, but it's gotten better because one of the biggest things I learned a couple months ago was I listened to this podcast. It was by the same people that I just went to this conference to. And we just got back from this conference, and I'm on this high. I want to get into the faith, learn certain things. So I click onto a podcast, and it stuck out to me. It's how to deal with anxiety. And I was like, well, this is amazing. It's perfect, I'm on a 6-hour road trip, might as well. Got nothing else to do. And I listened to it, and one of the biggest things that stuck out to me was just to pray when you're having those anxiety attacks. And I think when you're in those times of mental illness, God and Jesus and prayer can get very easily just taken away from you because the evilness and the darkness just takes over you, and you don't know what to do. And one of the biggest takeaways was just sit there and pray. And it was very ironic that the day I got home, I'm trying to unpack everything, moving really fast, and I just have an anxiety attack. It came out of nowhere. I don't know what caused it. It just came out of nowhere. And what I remember was let me just sit down and pray. And it's not like pixie dust, 5 seconds in, I'm done, I'm cured. But it was more of a thing, I just sat there and talked to Jesus. It's, a lot of you, it can be challenging to pray. It's not the easiest thing. And certainly with me in middle school, when like they said, who wants to pray for lunch or dinner or something, my hand was never one to raise, you know. It was very challenging for me to pray and what to think to say. And one of the best things I've learned over these years is just have a conversation with God. It can be hard to what to think of, but when you're sitting there praying, just have a conversation with him. He's your friend. He wants to be there for you, and he's always there for you. And when you're having those times of like anxiety, depression, mental illness at all, because it's clearly something today that everyone struggles with. And just to sit there and pray and really just relax. You know, most of the times when I'm suffering from anxiety attacks, and I just sit there and pray. And it takes 10 to 15 minutes for it to get over, but it's better than just 15 minutes of just pure panic and I can't breathe than to now where I'm like, I know what to do, know how to combat it. And it's so strange that, you know, the answer for a lot of our problems is pretty much right in front of our eyes. It's in the Bible. It's in prayer. And it's that simple. But it takes a long time to realize that, and it took me a while to realize that. But one thing I just wanted to kind of tell you guys is prayer it's a big thing, and it helps you get out of that darkness. And, you know, a lot of y'all are in middle school, and I don't remember middle school being that fun for me. I'm just going to be honest. It wasn't the most fun thing. It's some for y'all. It might not be the most fun thing. You're going to look back at it probably, and you'll be like, that kind of sucked. Just going to be honest. And so, because we were, you know, us student leaders in the high school, we were kind of praying over you guys. And I was just sitting there talking to God for 10 to 15 minutes, and I was like, looking back at middle school, I was like, man, that wasn't fun at all. And one of the biggest things I wish I had done, and I wish I had, was I just wanted to read the Bible, and I wish I just sat there and prayed during those tough times. It's so important just to sit there and relax and just say, hey, God's got me, and I'm going to be okay. You know, and I'm kind of getting stuck here, but prayer is just such a big thing for me. And I think the whole reason I've kind of gotten over these anxiety attacks is I've just kind of sat there and let God kind of take over, let God take the wheel. And I think that's just the biggest thing I want to leave with you is, you know, let God take the wheel. Take your time, you know. A lot of you might be in this darkness and in this void, but let God take the wheel. Sit there and pray, you know. It might be very uncomfortable for you. You're like, I don't want to sit there and pray for 10 to 15 minutes. But I'm serious, it works. It helps. And I just want to leave you guys with that.
Thanks. You can take that back. Thank you so much. Man, Thomas, yeah, thank you so much. How many of you guys resonated with Thomas's story on some level? Yeah, so many of us, right? And Thomas is now, like, I'm so thankful for him because he's gone from a place of sitting on the bench when it comes to sharing his faith to now the thing that he told me a couple weeks ago. He said, I just want to tell everyone. I want to tell everyone about what Jesus is doing in my life and what he's done for me. And hopefully that's the same exact attitude that you and I have when it comes to looking at the dark things that are going on in our lives and the way that Jesus is saving us from them. And it's not that Thomas doesn't struggle anymore. And it's not that I don't struggle anymore, but it's the fact that I don't have to struggle alone anymore. I want to look at the rest of the story here in Mark chapter 5. If you look there in verses 18 through 20. So Jesus has been begged to leave, and so he's getting into the boat, and the man who had been possessed with demons begged him that he might be with him. And he did not permit him, but said to him instead, go home to your friends and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you. And so he went away, and he began to proclaim in the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him, and everyone marveled. I think this is so interesting that this guy comes, and he's been saved from so much darkness, and he asks Jesus, please just let me come with you. And Jesus says, no. Like that's so weird to me, but at the same time, I kind of see what Jesus is doing because he sends him back to his family and to his friends, and he says, don't stop talking about what's been done for you and how Jesus has had mercy on you. And I think the call is exactly the same for you and I, to go and to share our stories, to not sit on the bench when it comes to sharing our faith, but to actually become actively involved with telling other people about what Jesus has done. I mean, that's the call for us, and you might be asking, how effective is that really? Like, Like how much of a difference can that really make? Just one person sharing their story about what Jesus has done for them. Like does that really do any good? Well, here's what's so crazy is that if you flip over one more page over to Mark chapter 7, we see when Jesus enters back into this region again. Right? So Jesus had been kicked out by the people. They begged him to leave, and so Jesus leaves, but that doesn't mean he leaves forever. He actually comes back again, and if you look at Mark chapter 7, verses 31 through 37, it says that Jesus returned from the region of Tyre, and he went through Sidon to the Sea of Galilee in the region of the Decapolis. And they brought to him a man who was deaf and had a speech impediment, and they begged him not to leave, but to lay his hand on him. And taking him aside from the crowd privately, he put his fingers into his ears and after spitting, touched his tongue. Kind of weird, but it worked. He looked up to heaven, he sighed, and he said to him, Ephphatha, that is, be opened. And his ears were opened, his tongue was released, and he spoke plainly. We see this crazy thing happen where Jesus comes back to this region where he had formerly been cast out, where he had formerly been rejected, where they begged him to leave, and this time they brought people to him, and they begged him not to leave, but they begged him to heal him. And my question is, what changed? Like, what changed in this area between the first time that Jesus visited and the last time that Jesus visited? One man wouldn't shut up about what Jesus had done in his life. One man went out and wouldn't stop talking about how Jesus had had mercy on him. One man wouldn't stop talking about how he had lived in so much darkness and he was so alone and now he wasn't anymore because of what Jesus had done. Don't ever doubt the power of one person's story when it comes to sharing your faith. And instead of asking questions like, do you go to church? Maybe ask this question, hey, can I share with you a little bit of my story? Can I tell you what Jesus has done for me or what he's doing in my life? Like, what if that was how we approached sharing our faith? And I think we need to stop thinking in terms of addition and we need to start thinking of terms of multiplication. Because one person can only do so much. But what about one person that tells another person, and that person tells someone, and that person tells someone? And you're going to experience successes and you're going to experience failures, but that doesn't mean that you don't get in the game. I remember one game specifically. I'm sitting there on the bench, comfortably, watching the game, and I think Coach got mad at somebody that was actually good at basketball, because I heard him say, Maddux, and he says, get in there. I'm like, oh gosh, here we go, all right, here we go. And the entire crowd is watching. I pull off my jersey, stumble over it. I think I accidentally pull off my whole shirt, have to put it back on, all awkwardly, and I get into the game, and I am so nervous, right? What if I mess up? What if I do something wrong? They're all going to make fun of me. And I get into the game, and I'm guarding this guy that's a little bit bigger than me. He's 6'8", 250 pounds, just slightly larger. And I'm guarding this guy, and he gets the ball. He thinks easy stuff, right? Yeah, well, he gets the ball. He goes up for a shot, and I block this guy. And the crowd goes absolutely insane. And he gets the ball back, and he goes up for another shot, and I block him again. It was the best moment of my entire life because the entire student population is cheering. They're chanting my name. Not quite, but they were definitely cheering. And it was just the best, and it never would have happened if I hadn't gotten the game. I mean, nothing could have brought me down from this great moment except for what happened next, because we ran down to the other side of the court. And I got the ball. I'm wide open underneath the basket. There's no way I can possibly miss. I've done this a million times in practice. And I jump up, and I completely airball from, right underneath the basket. And the entire crowd goes, It's and Coach pulled me out of the game right then and there. And you know what? I experienced successes, and I experienced failures. But the point was that I got in the game, and none of it would have ever happened if I could just continue to sit on the bench. Some of you need to get off the bench and get in the game. Listen, I want to share with you something that God has put on my heart recently and something that I think is so cool. So there are 3 middle schools in Bartlett, right? There's Elmore, there's Appling, and there's Bon Lynn. There are 2,296 students in those 3 schools. There's 2,296 students, and all of them are experiencing hurts and failures and brokenness, and every single one of them needs Jesus. If you all were to stay on the bench and let me be the only person in the game. And I just worked my tail off, and I invited one person every single week, right? We're thinking addition right now. I'm inviting one person every single week, and they're coming. Guess how long it would take me before I invited the entire middle school to church here? It would take me 44 years. Hopefully, most of them wouldn't be in middle school anymore at that point. It would take me 44 years to reach the entire school. But here's something crazy. There's about 50 students in here tonight. If every single one of you invited just one person a month, not even one a week, just one person a month, And then every person that you invited, they invited somebody else one time a month. And then every person that they invited, they brought one person a month. Guess how long it would take us to reach the entire Bartlett Middle School system? It would take us 6 months to reach the entire Bartlett Middle School system. I mean, do you see how crazy that is when you go from addition to multiplication? We go all the way from 44 years just down to 6 months. And I'm not saying that every single person needs to come here and this is the only place that they can find Jesus. But what I do hope you get is the significance of not just sitting on the sideline. And I get it. You don't have everything figured out. Neither do I. I get it. You deal with doubts. You deal with failures. I get it. Sometimes reading the Bible is just boring for you. Even Thomas admitted that that's okay. But that doesn't mean that you don't do anything. Listen, my prayer is that Jesus would transform your lives, and he would transform our school systems, and he would transform the city. And it can start right here because he's been doing it for thousands of years, and he's been using people's stories to change other people's stories, and it's all because of his story. That Jesus loved you enough to die on a cross, not to leave you in your sin, but to come down and to rescue you. We talked about this in our student leader meeting earlier today. When Jesus died, the curtain that separated the presence of God from everyone else was torn, not from bottom to top, but from top to bottom. In other words, it wasn't you. It wasn't your achievements. It wasn't your greatness. It wasn't your performance. It was only Jesus. It was only Jesus that made a way because God came down to us because he knew that we couldn't make it all the way up to him. So my challenge for you is this. If Jesus has changed your life, would you tell somebody about it this week? Would you share your story with just one person? And listen, if you're in a place right now where you're like, man, I don't know if I've got this all figured out. I don't even know if I believe in Jesus. Would you not go one more day without having that conversation with somebody? There's going to be adults that stick around in this room for the rest of the night, and they would be so happy to talk with you about what it looks like to follow Jesus. Would you all bow your heads with me? Father, I ask that your Spirit falls heavily on this group of students. God, that you would work miracles through them, that you would change their lives, and that you would use them as a tool to change our entire school system, God. That you would use their stories and the story of your faithfulness in their lives to change people. God, that we wouldn't be content to just sit on the sideline and play it safe, but that we would accept the challenge, that we would accept the call to go and make disciples, and we would get in the game. God, we love you so much. Thank you for your love for us. It's your name that we pray. Amen.